Daryl here today. How you guys doing? It's a beautiful sunny day here in Michigan. Look at this, isn't that great? Winter snow, bright sunshine, about 30 degrees out, which isn't really too cold, but it is early for have this kind of snow here still on the ground a week after it fell or more. And here in Michigan, we usually don't get much snow that sticks until mid-December. And here we are just barely into mid-November right now. And you can see my 2007 Lincoln Navigator is totally covered with snow. I just got the broom out and brushed off the hood and windshield, and you can hear it's running. But we haven't really driven it much for the last couple weeks because the blower motor went out. The rear motor is still working, so we still get some heat in it if we need to drive it. It just takes a while for it to warm up and for the heat to circulate up to the front. But the front blower motor here, which is located underneath the passenger side footwell, has totally stopped working. Now, if it was just one speed that was still working, then we could say it was probably the blower resistor. But since the whole thing has stopped working, that could mean it's either a fuse, a relay, or the blower motor itself. Now, I've already checked all the fuses and relays, and they seem to be good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to access the blower motor down below, and we're going to use our voltmeter or a test light to check and see if it's actually getting voltage to the motor. And this is super easy to do on this vehicle. We're going to grab a hold of this sill trim piece right here, and we're going to pop this off, and then we're going to pop the kick panel here off, and there's one more little panel behind that that'll pop off afterwards. So there's 3 plastic panels here we have to pop off. Then we'll get this floor mat out of here because we're going to have to peel the carpet back once we get those off in order to make room to work. Alright, that piece, just grabbed a hold of it and gently pulled it right up. And now, in order to do this kick panel here, we're going to grab the rubber molding. We're going to pull that out away just a little bit to clear this gap out right here. Then we'll grab that, we'll just carefully pop that out. You see the clips on this stay right on this piece, and the clips on the floor panel are built in, so you don't have to worry about those or this. And now we've got this off. The next one's going to be this little piece right here, which pops right out. There's only a little tab in the back that holds that on. Now that's out. Now this is the same process you go through if you were looking for this electrical box here, which has the 5-digit door code printed on the back side for the keypad entry. Back, because there's not a lot of room to fish that blower motor out unless you pull the carpet back. So we're going to pull the carpet back like so, tuck it down, because the blower motor is right up under there. And now we just need to get this little trim panel here off underneath the glove box. Alright, this is really easy too, because this just has 2 little push pin connectors. You can see it in front of my finger there, that push right up into a hole there. And you just grab those and you gently work them out. They came out really easy. I just did that one by hand. This one here, I'm just going to stick the screwdriver behind it because it's a little awkward position. Pop it down, and that whole panel pops off. And we'll set that aside too. And now we're almost there. We've got the blower motor turned on all the way, and we can hear nothing's happening here. So what we need to do is find the wire that goes up to the blower motor and disconnect that. And I believe that's right up here. Let me have a look. Alright, now we get up under here far enough, you can see the blower motor right there, and that yellow wire connector, or yellow wires with the white connector, is what we need to squeeze and pull off of the side of the blower motor in order to check and see if there's 12 volts going to the motor right now. If there is, then we have a defective motor. If there isn't, then we have to find out why there's no voltage coming to the motor. Alright, once you've pulled off the wire harness right here, you can see here, I used a voltmeter or test light to test across the 2 terminals inside and see if we have at least 12 to 13 volts in there, and we do. With the car running right now, it's reading like 13.8 volts, which means the blower should be running, and it's not. So the next step is to take the blower motor itself out, which also requires no tools. There's this little vent arm clips on the side of the blower motor. You can see it's on like a track thing here, and it connects this here to back here. It's like a little vent tube, and it's got two little arms on the side, little tabs that you squeeze in all the way and pull it straight down. You're going to reach up in there and grab the blower motor, twist it counterclockwise, and then it should drop straight down along with the fan cage. Now that was quite a bit of work, working this out of there. If you could find a way to detach that thick rubber insulation there and pull that back, it would make it a heck of a lot easier getting it out. Because what happens is this sits in there kind of at a angle like this. And when you go to pull it down, this back lip back here gets caught behind that rubber insulation piece. And you've got to reach around behind with a screwdriver or your fingers and work it bit by bit until it pops all the way up above this locating ring right here before it'll drop down far enough to pull it the rest of the way out. I have a feeling getting it back in will be easier because you're pressing the rubber in and then going up. It should be a lot easier getting it in than it was getting it out. But it took me a good 10 minutes to work that out, and a lot of stress on my fingers and my back. So if you can find a way to get that rubber pulled back, either slice it with a razor knife and pull it back, or find a way to unbolt the top right corner of it and pull it back, that could be a definite time saver. Now we're heading off to the local AutoZone to get this new part. The list price on it's about $76. The website said they didn't have one in stock at my local store. But my son, who works at a different AutoZone location, called and checked, and they said they did. So we're going to see if they're right or not, if they have one in stock. And we'll not, I'll have to make a road trip maybe 30 miles further down the road to actually get it. Because I want to get this fixed tonight. And the first thing we're going to do before starting to assemble it is to remove that cover plate so it doesn't get damaged or broken, and to make the installation process easier. And now we're going to take this, we're going to line it up so that the clip connector for the wiring is facing forward. We're going to work it into place, push it all the way up and seat it, and then you can see these little clips built into the mounting ring. We're going to push it straight up in until it sits up flush, and then we're going to turn it clockwise about 1/6 of a turn, and that's going to lock it into place. And once it's in place, this adapter will line up with a little vent hole on the side, and we'll be all set. We'll plug the wire back into it, replace the trim panels, and we'll be good to go. Let's see what happens. Here's our replacement part made by VDO, which is a well-known aftermarket part. They also make OEM parts for manufacturers as well. And this one's PM9370. It's about $75 at AutoZone. Sometimes they have 10% off coupons and other specials, but I've seen it for as little as $40, including shipping on the internet, and as much as $225 for a genuine Motorcraft one. And the whole repair job, which is really not that big of a deal, the first time you do it, you can probably plan on taking about an hour. A skilled mechanic could do this in about a half hour to 40 minutes, I would think. And the average cost for this is between $200 and $250 if you take it to an independent shop, and between $400 and $450 if you take it to a dealer. So, here you do it yourself, about an hour of your time, and we'll say $50 to $75 for the part, and you've saved yourself $150 or even $200, depending on where you would have taken it. Pretty easy, well worth the time. You can do it yourself, save some money. And I was right. Getting it back in was a lot easier than getting it out. Because when you're taking that round part and pushing it up in, you're pushing inward against that rubber mat, and it kind of just presses in and lets you go up into place. It's harder trying to pull it out because you have to press that rubber mat inward while you're dropping it down. And like I said, if it was me doing it again, I'd probably take a small razor knife and just make a couple of slits down on either side of the motor, peel that rubber mat down out of the way, and then when you push it back up into place, pop the rubber mat back up, and when you press the carpet back down, it's going to hold the rubber mat right where it's supposed to be. So there you go. You can do it yourself, save some money, and be happy that you learned how to do something new to maintain your vehicle. And look at this, we've got it running. I've got the heat cranked all the way up on 90. Here's our blower speed control. You can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. Let me turn the car off so you can hear it better. We'll just turn the key on. All right. The blower's on low right now. You can hear it just kick on. Look at it getting faster and faster. And now I think you can hear that, right? It's working great. And another successful project completed. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. I really appreciate your views and support. And if you could click on that subscribe button, that would be kind of cool to know that you want to see the other videos that I'm making. And if you see something interesting that you think your friends would appreciate, share it on your Facebook page or some other internet method. I'd really, really appreciate that too. Thanks a lot and have a great day.